Hello, everyone, and welcome to the If It's Free, It's For Me series where I take paid products and teach you how to make them for free with code. Today, this is what we are going to be building. It is a dividend growth investing report. People pay $20 a month to get a list of stocks that meet a certain criteria. If you guys are curious why this kind of investing is useful, I'll show you a little example. So we're going to be talking about dividend growth investing, DGI. So if you don't know what a dividend stock is essentially a stock where over the lifetime that you hold it, so let's say I buy it here and I sell it here, all in between I'm going to get little payments of 1 or 2 or 3 or more percent of a percent of that stock. So all these times that I'm holding the stock, I'm going to be getting money. That is what a dividend stock is. But sometimes when you hold a dividend stock, you're going to get something that, while it will give you like a small percentage over time, it's going to be declining in value. So if it lowers, let's say 50%, these small payments of 1 or 2% are not going to be worth it in the long run because you're going to be losing a ton of money. So the purpose of dividend growth investing is that we find stocks that are growing, meaning their value, their price is going to be raising, and they're going to be paying you dividend payments along the way. That is the purpose of dividend growth investing. That is what we're going to be doing here today. We're going to be creating a report that gives you valuable information about dividend stocks to say whether or not it's undervalued or overvalued. We're obviously going for the undervalued stocks so that they will grow and eventually make more money through value and dividends. So how are we going to do that? How are we going to make that? We're going to use a package that I made called dividendfiend. So this is the GitHub repo that I created. It gives you useful and concise information about what makes a good dividend stock. I took it from this report that says that has the 12 rules of dividend growth investing. The EPS must be at least 8%. The dividend growth must be 8%. The payout ratio, debt, P&E, P2B, all must have, well, all should have, should meet certain criteria. So I have that here in the GitHub repo, different criteria for the stocks, and what we're going to do is essentially make a screener that tells us which stocks meet that criteria, and we're going to be using this package. So what I did was I made a bunch of different scrapers from all different websites such as MarketWatch, Seeking Alpha, and Finviz, and I brought it all together into this nice one package for people to use, and you get that information through this get stock info function. And how you can do it is you can just simply do pip3, if you're on Mac, pip3 install dividendfiend. It's already installed for me. If you wanted to update it, it would be pip3 install dividendfiend -- upgrade. So now we can use it. This is just some sample code that I have available in the README of my GitHub. So what this is doing, this is importing the package, is creating a instance of stock info, a class within dividendfiend, and I'm just scraping the information from all the different websites and outputting it here in a dictionary. So we have the ticker symbol, the full company name, the price that it is currently trading at, the annual dividend percent that you will be getting from the stock, the EPS growth, the earnings per share growth, the dividend growth, this is how much it has grown in the past, I think, 5 years, the payout ratio, the debt that the company has, the PE, the price to earnings, the price to bookings. I'm not going to go in depth into what all these mean. You can look at some other YouTube video for that, but just know that these are very good signals for knowing if something is under or overvalued, how good of a dividend stock it is, and how much it's growing. That's the main thing. We want to see that growth. This under or overvalued is simply checking whether or not the average dividend is higher or lower than the current dividend, and if the current dividend is higher, then it is undervalued. And then the consecutive years of dividend increases. Obviously, you would want a stock with more stable, more historical success. So the more years that a dividend has increasing, the better. Here I have a meets criteria function. So this is basically checking whether or not how many of these criteria are met through each individual stock. So let's say we wanted to say I just want to output how many of these have meet 5 of this criteria. This is what it's doing for me, and this is how you would access the information within the dictionary. So this is where we get all the information, and then here I'm just calling the different parts of the dictionary. So here, if I wanted EPS growth, I would just treat it like a regular Python dictionary, and then I can perform operations on it, whether it's greater than or less than a certain numerical value. So what we're doing here is we're making a screener. So if you wanted to make a screener with, let's say, thousands of stocks, I have a file right here with, I think it's 5,700 different stocks. I'm not going to be screening through all that. That would take way too much time. But if you wanted to have a more exhaustive screener and wanted to screen all different kinds of stocks besides the small list that I'm going to show you for this demo, you would look at this and you would make a screener for that using the code here. So just using pandas to grab the Excel file and then iterate through the one column of all the tickers. But here I just have the dividend aristocrats. Dividend aristocrats are stocks that have increased their dividend for at least 25 years. Some of these have increased 60 plus years. So here we have a for loop that's going to iterate through them. It's going to check if the meets criteria function is true. So remember, meets criteria is going to return true if 5 or more, well actually I think just if over 5 of the criteria are met. And then we're going to print out the information. So here we have our first stock that the screener has printed out. It's the Cincinnati Financial Corporation, and then we have all the information. Sometimes the screeners, sometimes the websites don't have the information for the stock, or the algorithm that I wrote the screener with didn't work for certain stocks. That's okay. And then this is going to be going through all the dividend aristocrats. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please drop a like and give me a star on my GitHub page if you want. That's it. Please enjoy this screener for yourself. And if you are the owner of this company, please, if you want me to take this video down, just give me some money and I will happily do it. If you don't want people accessing your product for free, please just send me some money.